Hi, I want to welcome you to the Diva Success System Workshop. I am Angela Wills, and I am so excited to deliver this training with you. If you don't know, I am the owner of Party Plan Divas. I inherited this site and business from Lindsay Kmetz. If I say her last name properly, I haven't asked her how to pronounce it. I've seen it mostly through emails, but I purchased the site from Lindsay and have been kind of taking over the different systems and things that she had in place to serve people in direct sales. So I am so excited to be here hosting this first workshop that I am hosting for the Party Plan Divas and introducing you to the Diva Success System. This system has been in place for many, many years when Lindsay thought it up. So I have inherited it. I have done some similar things in my own business, and I've started implementing her system as well to my business. I am also in direct sales. So I am working on this as well with you. So let's get started. All right, so welcome to the Diva Success Workshop. Yay, I'm so excited you're here, and I can't wait to share whatever I can to help you grow your Party Plan direct sales business. So here's a fact for you. Here's a little statistic for you. Science says 92% of people don't achieve their goals, and that's from Inc.com. The Diva Success System was created to help you be in one of the 8% who do. And in order to achieve your goals, it's really important to have some kind of system in place, some kind of a plan in place, a goal in place. So we're going to talk about those kind of things today. So before we do get started, I want to share with you a little bit about myself so you know where I'm coming from, who I am, kind of why I'm here. So let's start with at the beginning, kind of at the beginning of my business career. I actually sold rocks when I was 6 years old from my driveway, if you want to talk about the beginning of my entrepreneurial spirit, but we don't want to go back too far because it's going to take a long time for me to share that with you. But in 2002, I looked at my son's little face. He was 4 months old, and I had a career in chemical engineering. I was a lab tech at the Ontario Ministry of the Environment. I looked at his face and I thought, I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to have to commute, spend, at least 10 hours a day away from him and not be able to kind of pick up and do what I wanted, or once he goes to school to be able to do that. So I just decided that I really didn't want that career, which was okay because it wasn't like I was from an early age, I want to be a scientist. I never really knew what I wanted. So it was kind of easy for me to let that career go, but I knew I wanted to be home and around him. So I started a business in what was a hobby at the time, which was handmade soaps. And I actually turned that business partly into a direct sales business because I have always loved the direct sales model. And I ended up with about 12 consultants for that business. That's a story for another time, but I do have like these roots that go back to like when I was 19 years old, I joined my first direct sales business, but I really didn't go that path until later. And I'm going to talk about that when I tell you a little bit more about my story. So I successfully earned a full-time living since 2007 from the internet. So I quit my job in 2007. So what happened was in 2002, I decided not to go back to my chemical engineering career. I tried a bunch of different things, ended up going to get like not a part-time. At first it was a temporary job in a factory to be close to home. I took that, I think it was 2004, 2005. So from 2005 to 2007, I worked in a factory, and then I quit that factory job in 2007. And ever since, I have not had a job. So I've been working online, earning an income. When I started, I was a single mom. I'm not now, but when I started back then, quit my job at the factory as a single mom, and I have been earning online exclusively. I didn't have other sources of income. I didn't work outside, selling stuff outside. I've worked online, and I hit my first 6 figures. I know that's a kind of a big deal to people, but I don't like to play it up because 6 figures doesn't necessarily mean a lot. Like, it depends on your expenses. It depends on how much you spend. It depends on a lot of things, but 2018 was the year I hit my first 6 figures through an online business. So I know how to sell online. I know what I'm doing. I know how to make sales online. I've sold so many different things in so many different niches as well, because I played around. And not purposely, it was just playing around. I was really trying to find what worked for me. So I was trying all kinds of different types of businesses. I've been a virtual assistant. I've done affiliate management. I've done website design. I've sold physical products, digital products. I've done a lot of different things, and the methods work across everything as well as network marketing. So I've always loved direct sales. Like I said, when I was 19 years old, it was Party Light, I think, that I almost joined. I had like a launch party, but I didn't actually go all the way to signing up. But after that, I've joined a number of other companies that I kind of went from a little bit serious to trying it for 6 to 8 months or so. And so I really loved a lot of things about direct sales. Being a solopreneur who had to do kind of all my own products, who had to create all my own marketing, didn't have a team that I could work with and share, what worked and what didn't with. Jumping into a company finally last year that had all these things, the things that I thought were amazing about direct sales rang true. They really are those things I listed: having marketing, having systems in place, having a product already created or new products developed without having to do it myself. These are some incredible things. And the team, the support, the training, all of these amazing things about direct sales that, can kind of be taken off your plate once you're no longer doing it all yourself. So I joined Juice Plus in April of 2020. And at that time, I wanted a tower garden. So that was like, it's a large, but doesn't take up a lot of space. Horizontally, it goes vertical. It's a tower that you have in your home to grow food. So,
yeah, no, so I listened.
You, Gary, you've got your audio on, so let's fix that.
I totally
There we go. All right, so with the garden, I just wanted to get the garden. I did think that maybe I would sell it on a vegan website I have. So I thought it'd be like a little affiliate income. I didn't even realize it was direct sales, but I joined up to get the discount on the tower, realized there was a whole company behind it, as well as some other products. And so then I decided to go all in February of 2021, which led me to Party Plan Divas. So Party Plan Divas kind of fell in my lap because what I was doing was selling off some of the digital products I had at angelawills.com, which was the online marketing training, the business that I have been doing for at least 5 years, more so in some form, about 10 years. I've been training people on how to make sales online. So that comes in the forms of products, membership, live workshops like this one. So I had a whole business built, and I had decided to sell off a lot of my products. So I contacted the owner of another site, and she owned also a direct sales site, which I didn't know at the time. She's a friend of mine. I thought maybe she could help me promote some of my products from angelawills.com. And I found out she owned a direct sales site. So I bought her site, which is not Party Plan Divas, but in the process of sending emails out to the site that she sold me, Lindsay contacted me from Party Plan Divas and said she wished I had bought her site. And so then I asked her, the details on her site. She told them to me. We made an incredible deal. I purchased Party Plan Divas, and then discovered that Party Plan Divas was such an incredible resource, so many posts on the site, so many great things created, like the Diva Success System. Lindsay put her heart and soul into this business and into this site. And I just could not, my initial plan was to kind of merge Party Plan Divas into the first site I bought. And the first site I bought didn't have like the traffic, and not to mention Party Plan Divas has an amazing following on Facebook, on YouTube, on we've got a little following on Instagram. Like, it has a whole social media following as well. So it just made so much sense to go with and then the brand itself fits me. This is my shirt, it matches the brand color, right? Like it just fits me so much better. And so that's why I'm here at Party Plan Divas. And I think that's just something I wanted to share, just to kind of give you an idea of why I'm here and, why it matters to me. I also love coffee, tea, and oat milk lattes from Starbucks. So I'm not too particular. You can offer me a tea or a coffee or an oat milk latte, or probably a lot of things from Starbucks, as long as they're dairy free. So that's a little bit about me, and I hope to get to know you as well. I'm coming into a new community. I'm using what I've learned over all of these years to kind of start over in that sense. And I know how important it is to connect with people. So that's why I share the story with you. And, when you are doing your marketing and getting to know people, finding some connection is really important. So you may want to do something, maybe not a list like this, but you might want to do something in your own marketing as well to let people get to know you. So let's talk about the Party Plan Divas Success System. Now, we do have a live component of this training as it's being recorded. If you have any questions, comments, or anything you'd like to share, please just pop it into the chat and I will check it as I go along. So let's talk about the Diva Success System. It's a 3-step system, and it's recommended you do this every day. So get ready all the way to lipstick. Now, if you don't wear lipstick, that's okay. Just get ready fully for your day when you get up in the morning. And this is so important. Even if you're not going to be on video or anything like that, it just makes you feel like you're ready. It makes you feel accomplished. It makes you feel ready to go. And it's just the alternative. You kind of feel like you're just kind of pulling yourself through the day sometimes. And I mean, we all know what this is like, right? It's been an incredibly challenging year and a half or so. And maybe we don't feel like getting ready, but that turns into day after day, especially if we're not going out to events and networking and things like that. So just getting yourself up, getting motivated, and getting ready will really set the tone for your day. So step 2 is contact 3 never before talked to people per day. I'm going to give you some ideas on how to do this, but if you have any questions, let me know. And if anybody isn't watching this live, if you have any questions, you can also go into our Facebook group, our Divas Facebook group, our public group, and ask me in there as well, and I'll connect with you. So step 3, send a note of gratitude to a friend, customer, hostess, upline, whoever. This just makes you feel really good. And it also really, it sets a tone that you can't even predict how that's going to affect your day, how it's going to predict how it's going to help other people, and the implications of that for the future. So that can just be really powerful. Just contact one person a day. Think of one person a day, show gratitude and appreciation. And this is a system you can duplicate very quickly. Like this, obviously we need to get ready in the morning. That's going to take your morning get ready time. Contacting 3 people does not need to take a lot of time, and sending a note 5-10 minutes or less, right? So this is not something that needs to take up a lot of your time, but it certainly can be a powerful system for you. All right, so let's discuss. Let's go into the details of all 3 of these steps. All right, so get ready all the way to lipstick. What you will be ready for if you apply this to your life is more than what's here, but these are just some of the first things that came to mind. Impromptu calls, we're talking about video calls, Instagram Reels, Facebook Lives, running out for coffee, which is essential. So really the point here, I mean, if you know you have a call, you can get ready, on that day. But I think what is more important is how it makes you feel. You feel like you've already accomplished something by, and I don't mean to kind of smirk as I say that, but it's been challenging, right? We all know it's been challenging, even to just get up, get dressed, feel ready for the day. That in these unprecedented times, more so than ever, right? But no matter what, being people who, for my own example, when my son was 4 months old, being a new mom, the focus goes on other things, be it your business, your child, and you don't necessarily make that time initially for yourself. And so it's also a start of self-care. It's not all of self-care, that's for sure, but it is a start in a foundation, in a minimum requirement of self-care, that we get up, we get on something we're happy to wear, we do whatever makeup we do, if you do makeup, or do your hair, if that's a thing that you do. Probably most of us do our hair, unless the lucky guys who just get to wake up and their hair is great. So, but other than that, you just do feel ready to go. And it's great for running out. It's great for all kinds of business things that you probably won't do if you're not ready. I could think of a fun, if you're playing around with Instagram Reels, if I'm ready, I might think of a fun reel to do, or I might spot one. There's lip syncing reels out there. If I've already got my makeup and nice outfit on, I can just grab my phone, do the reel, and I've got another piece of content for my business. So here's some tips. This works incredibly well for me. I try to lay out a whole week of outfits. Now, life gets in the way, right? Life can get hectic. This might not necessarily be every week. It certainly hasn't been a week for me where I've laid all my clothes out for a while. However, my daughter is starting school September 8th. That day has been counted down for a long time. And I intend to get back on this track next week. So what I like to do is wash all the laundry, fold it, and then instead of just kind of putting it away in its different locations, what I do is I set a hanger for each day of the week. So Monday through Friday, I'll have a hanger, and everything I'm wearing that day, all of the pieces of what I'm wearing, pants, tops, everything, it's all going on that one hanger. So I can just grab that hanger. Now, what I'm starting as well is to do my workouts in the morning. And so I'll have my workout gear on that hanger as well. So I'll just grab all of it, do my workout first, and then change into my other clothes, do my morning routine, and all of that will be ready to go. It's key, because if I'm so sluggish in the morning, I'm not awake, ready to match up my clothes. I'm not knowing where, if it's not all put away and everything is where it should be, I'm just kind of running around the house looking for things, right? So if it's all there, one hanger, all you have to do is grab it. You don't have to be that awake to do that, right? So I put it all there, ready to grab and start my day. So another tip is to lay out all your self-care. So if you've got in your bathroom, like all of the things that you use, but they're not all in one spot, again, you just kind of like, maybe you don't know where your lipstick is, or maybe you don't know where your hairbrush is. You lay all of that out the morning before. If you need your hair dryer, because you're going to, do your workout, get a shower, dry your hair, have it all either in a basket, under the counter, but all in one spot. That will help you be much more efficient in your morning. And then of course, you're going to want to decide time-wise, how much time you need, get up and get that done. So that's getting ready all the way to lipstick. Next we have an assignment. So I made these bright boxes for your, basically your, workshop portions, and I do have an assignment for you for the workshop portion that you will complete afterwards, and you can send it to me if you want. So that's the workshop part of this session, but your first assignment for this workshop is to lay out your clothes tools, and to get ready easily first thing in the morning. Write down what you need to prepare. So your assignment, sorry, this was not written very clearly, but write down what you need to prepare. That's your assignment. So what you want to do is aim for doing it tomorrow, or you can start on Monday if you're like me and you want to start on Monday with a full week. But if you want to try starting like with a one day at a time, you could even just start with tomorrow, right? Like have the outfit, the things that you need for tomorrow ready to go so that your day gets started and you're ready for anything. So that's your assignment for the step 1. So the next part of the Diva success system is to contact 3 new people per day. Now, this part might sound pretty challenging, but I've got some ideas and some tips for you. So Facebook friends, the non-annoying way. When we're reaching out to 3 new people with this specific instance, I certainly would only recommend that you're just making a connection. At the beginning of this session, I hope Diana doesn't mind me mentioning her, but Diana and I have known each other for, I don't even know how many years. I think it was somewhere around 2006 we first met. And we've kept in contact. And it's not like every time we contact each other, or the first time I contacted her, I said, you know, I was looking for the way she could buy from me, you know. And you can clearly tell when people are doing that. You can clearly tell when they're only reaching out, even when it sounds like they're just chatting. They're asking questions that are just leading. You know, the questions are like they're digging for information, and it's so obvious. So what you want to do is not make people feel like that, right? You don't want to make people feel like you're digging for the way they can buy from you. You want to connect with people who you'd really want to be friends with. You know, Diana's amazing. She's awesome. And I think she's great. And we are friends, right? So that's what I want to do. I want to connect with people who I like to know, and who I have something in common with, right? So when you reach out to Facebook friends, you can just connect with them. What that does is start a relationship, and that relationship trumps so much of just making the sale immediately. Those relationships, and this is what I've learned from business after business after business. I told you I tried a lot of different businesses, but the one thing I did really well as I repeated through the processes of different, you know, of marketing through each business, one of the things I did well was connecting with people, making friends. And so no matter what business I had people who would support me throughout, you know, various things. And it wasn't about the products, it was about whether or not whatever I had to offer was of service to them. So you want to reach out, just connect with 3 people, and you can do that without mentioning your product. And what will happen is that relationship will start to build, but also they'll start to watch your posts. And if you're posting about your products, they'll start to see them as well. And if they're interested, they'll reach out to you, because on a friend-to-friend basis, they may just reach out in curiosity. It does not feel like a pushy, annoying, aggressive sales tactic. It just feels like friends connecting to other friends and helping each other wherever they can. So another thing you can do is, for people in groups, you can find a connection. So you can either make that connection through the comments of the groups, or reach out to them in a private message, friend them, and then, you know, you'll start that process of making a connection and building a relationship. So you can also, if you are building your email list, and I would highly recommend you start if you're not yet, but you can email your email list subscribers. In my early days, I actually used to email every email list subscriber and welcome them to my list. And if you are able to make a connection one-on-one with people who, you know, the actual mass ability to email people is amazing, but we don't want to replace that with connections. So if you're able to quickly reach out, and it's not like we need to spend all day doing this. 3 people, quick hello, quick thank you so much can take up very little time, but it can be really meaningful to people, especially when, they think they're getting on a list. They don't ever expect to hear from you, and then they do. So that's a really cool way to connect with some new people. So you can also connect with followers of your page, your group, on your social media. If you find that there's, especially if you find that there are people who are commenting often, liking often, make a connection with them. They already clearly have this interest in whatever you're saying or whatever you have to offer. So you can reach out to them like that. So your assignment for this part is to contact 3 new people today, if possible. So I've given you some ideas. You can go ahead and just work through, contact some new people and use whatever you have available to you to make those connections. All right, so the third thing is to send gratitude. This is so powerful. So powerful. It makes you feel happy and it generates goodwill that you can't even predict the benefits of. So you'll never really know what will happen of gratitude. It's, again, the relationship building, right? So you'll want to just go ahead and show people you are paying attention, so they will often show people you are paying attention, and so they will often in turn do the same. They'll start to pay attention to you because they know you appreciate them. Like, that's a powerful thing. And only send gratitude where you do appreciate them. Make sure it's authentic, and that can be really powerful. It really just makes you feel great as well, and as well makes them feel happy. So good, positive, powerful emotions to move your business forward. All right, so your assignment for this one, I forgot to put assignment in front of it, is to send 1 note of gratitude today. So we've got in your assignment so far, set yourself up to be ready, to get ready in the morning, and then contact 3 new people and send 1 note of gratitude. Those are your assignments. All right, so before I get into getting started and set up for success, I just want to kind of see if there are any questions on what I've just talked about. The Diva Success System is what this workshop was built around, but then I do have other sections to kind of talk about as well. So if you do have any follow-up questions on the Diva Success System, let me know. And also, just so you know, there is a planner that goes with this system, and I do have that available at Party Plan Divas. And I'm actually also working on a printed planner. So I have a printable planner, but I'm working on a printed planner as well. And if you have any thoughts on that, I did ask in the Facebook group. I asked about undated and dated, but if you have any feedback for me on like what you'd love in a planner, I'd love to hear that as well, because I just really appreciate the system that Lindsay created. And there's no way I could have just let it, kind of just let it be. It really needs to be used by people. So I'm really excited to get that out and get that going. All right, so let's get started with getting started and set up for success. So the first thing you want to do is organize and prepare. Are you going to work and focus on offline or online? If so, you'll prepare accordingly. So you want to organize your office, your resources, get your tools ready. This will vary per business and preferences. So be ready with what you need at your fingertips. Another thing you can do is set up a mobile office. So have what you need so it's quick and easy to use, even if you work online. So like me, I have worked almost entirely exclusively online. And so I don't necessarily need a lot of physical stuff. However, I do like to pick up and work. For example, I'm going to start working at a co-working space, or sometimes I used to work from coffee shops. If I can get back to doing that again, if it's all kosher, I don't know if that's the right word, if it's all okay for this time. I haven't started doing that since COVID started, but I do like to pick up and work from different places, coffee shop, co-working, sometimes even at the beach on a picnic table. So having whatever I need is usually in my laptop. But maybe there are some other things like my journal, my agenda, my planner. And then you can have, make sure you have any catalogs if your business has catalogs. So if you're talking to people, if they ask you what you're working on, you can hand them a catalog. You can also have pens, highlighters, markers, marketing materials, samples, products to demo on Facebook Live, etc., and host as packets. Really customize this to your business, what you need, but think about what you need and having it ready, right? This is talking about being prepared and ready so that you can really just move forward. So you want to know your program, study your products, your compensation plan, your company, and your systems. All right, so let's talk about simple steps for promoting your business as well. So what you want to do is develop your story. So what I shared with you earlier is part of my story. There are different things that I have shared over the years, kind of over and over again. One of them I touched on in my story was being a single mom who worked at a factory. And like I said, I ended up at the factory after trying to start a business, deciding to go back to work, but didn't want to go full back into my career because that was just going to take me further from home. So I took something closer to home as a factory job. And so part of my story was quitting that factory. And sometimes I go into a lot more detail about that because there was a point when, I just was in the factory. We had to be inside ovens. They were huge ovens because they were car bumpers. And so I have this whole visual of myself inside this big oven scraping. And this is like really what actually happened. Of course, want your story to be real, but I was scraping the gunk off the inside. And it wasn't part of my job description, but for some reason, every year we had to do it. So when I got hired, I never knew anything of this disgusting job. I was just not liking it. And so when I was in there scraping, I was like, I am not doing this. It was a once a year shutdown. I was like, I am not doing this by this time next year. And it really motivated me to go over the top with action. Like I decided at that point, I'd do whatever I could do. And so I ended up sleeping about 4 or 5 hours a night for close to 9 months until I quit that job, because that was all I could see to do, right? Like, so I, at the time, sacrificed sleep. I did whatever was within my power to get out of that job and into my business. And so for me, that worked. And that's one of my stories. So what you want to do is pull on your stories. Think about the things that have impacted you in your life, or about your products, or about the company. You have so many stories. It's not like you have just one. These are the things that people can relate to, that they can feel emotional for you. So you will emphasize them. They will feel real because they are real. These are the kind of things you want to think about when sharing. So why are you in business? What makes your products great to you? What's your story? You want to think about that. It's going to help you promote your business, because people want to buy from other people. Like they can go find the products, especially in direct sales, they can go find the products, but they want a connection. There's lots of times when I've wanted to buy something from direct sales, but I wanted to find a person I'd like to buy it from, especially when I know, there might be someone who I might know is selling it, right? So I want to have that connection with a person I can ask questions of, and I can relate to, who I know understands where I'm coming from. And that comes from me understanding what their story is, or, some part of who they are. So sell the benefits. What's in it for them? Use many angles. You don't want to just kind of repeat the same thing over and over again. If we see someone posting on Facebook and they're just basically posting the same thing over and over again, we're going to get tired of seeing it. We're going to tune it out. It doesn't really resonate with us even. But if you come from different angles, if you talk about products from different sides, for example, I'll tell you from the Tower Garden. I first posted about when it came, how the excitement of opening boxes, right? And there were giant boxes because Tower Garden's tall. It has all these different parts. So that was an exciting post to make. Sometimes I bring that post back, but I certainly don't keep posting that. Then sometimes I'll talk about how I make Buddha bowls out of the gardens, or I'll talk about the other products like the shakes, and I'll put a piece of kale from my Tower Garden into the shakes. So, I'm touching on different angles of it. And then of course, sometimes I might talk about just the nutritional training that comes within our company when you make a purchase, because we have a nutritionist who does weekly training. That's a different angle that will serve someone differently. If someone's like, really interested in the Tower Garden, but also wants to learn a lot about nutrition, that might catch their attention. So you want to approach from different angles. So there's a little bit more, or actually quite a bit more in the workbook. So you want to go and look in the workbook that you got with this workshop and look at the days of the week and the days of the month agenda. Now I've given you a document that's a Word document so that you can customize that. And when you go ahead and you have basically the Diva success system, you've got every day of the week kind of having its own topic. And then you have days of the month where you're setting aside to do like those bigger business tasks that have to be done on a monthly basis. When you have all this in place, it frees you up. Your brain doesn't have to sit there and think every day, okay, what do I need to do to promote my business? This is where a system really, really helps you. This is where it's really important to have clarity. And so until you have that kind of clarity, your brain's just going to keep spinning, saying, how do I promote my business? What do I need to do? And once you get something systemized, it can always be changed. It can always be tweaked. But getting a system in place can help you ease that daily burden of thinking of something new to do to promote your business. And then you're up, you're ready, you're dressed all the way to lipstick. And now you sit down, you know what you're going to work on, and then you move through that. And also, let's say you don't have a lot of time every day. I had mentioned that you can sign up for this workshop and go through this training, even if you have a very short amount of time, because if you have a short amount of time, great. You don't have to think, what do I do today? You've already got that in place. And it doesn't have to take a lot of time. You can start with the 3 steps, contact those 3 people, send a note of gratitude. You can do that in about, like if you were really going fast, you could do that in 15 minutes, and then if you've got your days of the week, another 15 minutes, but you work on whatever you can, the most efficient, effective things first, and then expand from there. So if you've got 15 minutes a day, don't negate it. Don't think it's not effective. So use that 15 minutes. It's the consistency, the consistent daily action that really can be powerful. All right, so that leads me to what I just said, which is use the Diva success system and the Daisy system daily. I did not introduce you to the daily system here, the Daisy system here. That is also in the workbook because I didn't want to overwhelm you with too many systems. What is really important about any of this is customize it to yourself and take daily action. And take the daily action that will give you the highest productivity, the highest results. Sometimes you need to experiment a while before you know what that is, before you know what actually will get you the most results. And then there is also this idea that sometimes you can do actions that will pay off later. So contacting 3 people a day is going to pay off over time. Then there's going to be some things that you need to do to generate sales quickly, like today or next week. So those are other things that you would put in there, and those kind of come down to the parties, or like if you're not in a party plan, there are challenges, sales, things like that. So you want to figure out where you're at, but effectively use the time you have, and you can plug this system into that and customize it for yourself. So an assignment for you based on what we just talked about is to create a Google Doc or spreadsheet of your stories. Use them in your business, branding, and marketing. So just use them wherever it applies. But having that stock of stories, like I actually don't have this spreadsheet, but I do have my stories kind of in my head. I actually should take this assignment myself and put it down so that I can reference it back, remind myself, some of my stories, I just know really quickly. I remember them quickly, but other ones, they might be a little bit like I've forgotten about them. They're kind of obscure in my memory. So, but they might be relevant to certain things. So I should really have them written down. I would recommend you do that too. All right. So let's talk about booking parties or making sales, or, even doing challenges is easy when you have a system. So let's recap what you can do on the daily to create consistent flow of people into your business. No begging or pleading, just interested people who are excited to book parties, come to challenges if that's what you do, buy your product, etc. We don't want to have to really kind of hunt people down, right? We want to create a following, a community, and create a system of marketing that has people coming to us because they're excited and interested. There's this common thing in direct sales to overcome objections. When you follow a system and when you have a community and when you kind of get away from hunting people down, you don't have objections. You almost never have objections. I've been selling Juice Plus and I've been selling lots of products for many years. I don't address objections. When people are coming to me, they're coming to me because they're ready to purchase. The people who signed up for this workshop, nobody objected first, like people just signed up. And so that's the kind of system you want to create. That's kind of marketing you want to create, where you're not convincing people who aren't sure yet, where you have attracted the people who are ready to go. So that's what we want to do, and where we want to go with creating your own system. So as I said, you want to get ready all the way to lipstick. We're just going to recap on this three-step system. Get ready all the way to the lipstick. Contact 3 never before talk to people per day. Send a note of gratitude to a friend, customer, hostess, upline. Just trying to click on this here. There we go. Follow the Diva success system. Ready all the way to lipstick. Contact 3 people. Send a note of gratitude. Create a daily theme, and that's in the workbook. So that just helps you know on Monday, there's a specific thing you're focused on, Tuesday, etc. Every day of the week has a theme. Use any systems your company offers. So in Juice Plus, we have a great system in place. We have, as I said, our higher team leader, and that's international marketing director in our company, is a top nutritionist, and she does weekly calls. And on those calls, she talks about the products, but she doesn't give links to any of the products for her to make sales. Like, she invites us as her team members to invite people to this training, and then she sends them back to us if they want to make a purchase. So she will say something like, if you'd like to make a purchase, contact the person who sent you here. And that's a system our company has in place on top of a Facebook group that's run for our whole team. So if we don't want to use our energy to run a Facebook group, we can just plug people into the group that already exists. And in that group, there are those weekly meetings are streamed in. And so it's an entire system. Alyssa, our nutritionist, also does meal plans. So there's a lot of things I can just plug into and use those to help me make sales. And also what I have done with my company is run challenges. So they're kind of similar to parties, not exactly the same because obviously we don't have a hostess and stuff like that. But I like to run parties because it gives a deadline and it gets people engaged and active. But we also have a system where, one of my other upline, if I didn't want to run a party, she runs parties, or not parties. If I didn't want to run a challenge, she runs challenge every month. We can plug in and send people to her challenge because she doesn't use her links inside of the challenge. She sends people back as well. So use any systems your company offers. Create follow-up systems through email marketing. It makes it so much easier. So much easier. So what happens with email marketing? I hadn't applied the email marketing, which I am an email marketer. I've been doing this for, I don't know how many years. I used a free email system probably somewhere around 2002. I'm pretty sure I had an email list set up from the beginning of my website career. And the first site I set up for business was around 2002, but either around 2002 to 2004, I absolutely started some sort of email marketing. And what happens is you can't, if you have a team of 30 people, or if you have a customer base of 100 people, you can't keep up with all of those emails. But if you have an email marketing system and you have regular emails going out, that is just going to allow you to keep in touch with these people. You can write emails that sound really personal, that sound like a personal message from you. If you write as if you were talking to a friend or a customer, and that really keeps a connection going. And then of course, on top of that, you can have a one-on-one connection whenever it applies. So having a system for email marketing, this is just a great method for growing your business and maintaining that connection. Another thing you can do is use Gmail with template emails for faster follow-ups. So get people into, if you're talking with a hostess and you have a certain number of emails that need to go to your hostess, just have them in those templates and send those out as appropriate. Or you could just get the hostess onto an email automation and they can get stuff automatically. But using the tools available to you to make it easier can really be helpful. All right, so let's talk about hosting a successful party, group, or challenge. Here are some of my best engagement tips for you on these. Give people notice posts of what's coming up. So get them 5 to 7 days, get them in the group before the start of the event, and then send out regular reminder posts. And this will keep people ready, right? Like they'll know, okay, that give them the time or the date of when the party is starting or the challenge, whatever is happening, get them prepared ahead of time. So you want to go heavy on the posts during your party, perhaps 3 to 5 per day or so, to help them see the posts. And if they're engaging, they're going to engage with more of the posts, right? If you only had 1 per day, then that's all they could engage with. But if you have 3, they're likely to engage with all 3. So tag people personally in anything relevant to them. And to kick off, like when I do a challenge, I like to tag people, everybody who said they're going to join. So I will tag everybody who's in the group that was joining the challenge. And that gets them seeing the first post, right? And every now and then I might tag everybody again. It really is helpful because people might join and then never see the posts. You really have to kind of work to make sure they see it. On top of this, you can also have, if you have an email system, you can have emails that are going out linking into the group or linking into specific posts. I didn't add that on here, but it's definitely a powerful way to do it as well. So another thing you can do is teach your hostess to be active in the group on everything, to post her own story and tell people how she knows you. And then keep track of who's commenting, liking, and posting, and contact them personally when the deadline to order is coming up. You can also have fun games and engagement posts. And there's lots of places where you can look for games. I actually have a whole resources of games that I'll be coming out with that I inherited, from the first site I purchased. But also I do believe if you go to Party Plan Divas, you will find some games on there as well. I'm almost sure of it. I forgot to check beforehand. There's so many posts on Party Plan Divas. I don't know everything that's there, but I'm pretty sure I've come across game ideas. And Lindsay even created some cool things. She has a wheel that you can use in parties. There is some kind of wheel for, I think it's a hostess, or I'm not exactly sure, but if you go look up a wheel at Party Plan Divas, you'll probably come across it. Yeah, so she's got some really cool stuff for parties. So schedule your posts for your party. That will make it a lot easier, a lot duplicatable. So I've used SynchShare because you can share the whole party with your team. So once I created, I did it for a challenge, but once I created that challenge, then I shared it with my team. So then they could just load it up and create their own challenge really easily and then customize it to however they wanted it. But they had like a full challenge ready to go, making it so much easier for them. All right, so our final topic here, I would love to check in with you. If you have any questions, comments, anything you want to hear about as we are going through, please post it in the chat. You're almost at the end of the section, and then we can have some questions that will be off the recording. But customer care for long-term sales. So what you want to do is keep current on your customer orders, watch for cancellations, or add on products. So if your customers are adding on any new products, if they are canceling any orders, just keep in contact with them, ask them what's going on or how they're doing, or how they like a certain product. If there's any problems, anything you need to discuss with them, just keep in contact with your customers. And again, email system, an email software program can help you do that. You can have your customer list on a system. And you also want to do for specific things, like if you see something specific, you want to reach out one-on-one, but you can also have updates and information through a main list and give your customers updates that way. So check in with your customers, just ask how they're doing with their products or if they need anything. And another thing you can do is send little gift cards or cards on birthdays, anniversaries, or special events. So you want to build relationships by including them. There's lots of, tactics that you've probably heard of, but including Facebook groups, VIP groups, any special training you might do or create. You can create something digital. So it could be a webinar, an ebook, etc., and give that away for free. So our company does this. They have like a Shred 10 challenge. That's the one I do, but there's a whole pamphlet for that. It actually there's a pamphlet that comes with when you sign up as a distributor, but also there's a PDF you can give out to clients. I can run the challenge from. We have created all kinds of different like menu books. And so I need to just go look in my company resources and see what's available. So you can do this as well. Like even if your company's not telling you about it, see what resources they have. Find out how you can give them to your customers. It's value add, right? If it's going to help them, and you can do it if you know of something a specific customer needs, you can be specific about it. Like look for a resource that's really helpful to them and that is kind of catered to what they need. So your company may have these kind of things. And you want to show your appreciation as well by just, that gratitude is a great way to do it. But you can also, there's lots of ways you can just make sure your customers know you appreciate them. And that comes in little ways or just reaching out to them to say so. Little touches like all the things we've mentioned here. All right. So I want to say thank you so much for joining us today with the Diva Success System Workshop. I did give you a workbook and there is a 90-day action plan to complete in your workbook. If you want to complete that, it's not based on everything we've talked about here, but it's for an addition to what we've talked about here. It's a workbook to help you kind of get clear and organized on your business. If you want to complete that, and if you want me to look at it, if you want to send it to me, I'd be happy to follow up with you on that. And you can go ahead and do that workbook and send it on over. You've got this. This is absolutely something you can do. And what I want you to think about is life first. This is a standing theme I've had as I taught business always is life first, then business. There are a lot of ways you can run a business, but you want to look at it about how can you fit your business into your life? How can you have that time freedom and build a system that fits into your life? Because the last thing, I think we all started our businesses to create that freedom. So that's what we want to look at when we're looking at what kind of systems do we want to use in our business? What kind of actions are we going to take? Those will allow us to determine what our life will look like. So think about that and decide on that and allow yourself to create that. And then that is what you will get. It won't happen automatically. It won't happen by accident, but you can have complete lifestyle freedom by working in systems, using automation, looking for leverage, and you can make that happen. So Diana, you're very welcome. You're so welcome. Did anybody have anything you'd like to discuss? I would really love to hear from you in terms of something you might apply from this workshop, anything you didn't know about in this workshop or anything you expected that you haven't heard, I am going to stop the recording so that this doesn't go too long, but I will stop the recording. If anybody has any questions who is not here, please contact me. I'm happy to hear from you, and you can contact me through the Facebook group or through email, but I'm just going to stop the recording now and see where we can go from there if we have any questions. Thank you so much for being here. If you're watching the recording, I'll talk to you soon.